It was a super windy day on the Swan River. The wind was absolutely pelting in at my back here. In these conditions, I've gone with a Vex Micro Meat because I can cast it into the wind and also cast it with the wind an absolute mile. As it's just got the assist hooks, it can sort of move through all the weedy bits that are floating around in this heavy wind as well, a little bit more than if I was using a diver with a couple of trebles on. Although fishing like this can be a tad uncomfortable, the Flathead actually don't mind the wind. When it's up this strong, it can really just more dictate how you cast at them. So I've got the wind hitting my back so I can get the furthest cast, but also if I'm trying to cast across the wind in, I guess, how strong it is at the moment, you're going to cause a big bow in your line when you're retrieving. So if you have a fish that hits your lure, when you go to strike, you're just pulling the bow. You can still catch a few fish that way, but you really have to move your lure a lot faster if you're going to fish across the wind. So I've got the wind to my advantage here with the two weedy beds on the left and the right. So I'll cast it along one side, retrieve in, and then cast along the other side, retrieve in. This one hit it just a couple meters from my feet. You see when I turn into the wind, you can see all the caps on the water. She's gusty out there. Good start to the session though. So just winding it in, giving it one or two flicks, pause, wind in, and repeat. Thought I had a little touch there. Just following it in. There he goes. Just wound this one on. Little tacker. The conditions were pretty good. Other than the wind, it was a rising tide and it had been a few hot days in a row. This day was actually a little bit cooler, but it'd been, 4 decent high 20s, low 30s days in a row. That tide just starting to move also, I think, fired them up. I could see lots of mullet and other types of bait flicking around as well, which is always a good sign. Another one on the board. This one had a bit more grunt to it. I'm walking it in circles just to try and tire it out as it comes in closer to me. Got my trusty Shimano Ci4. It's going on about 6 or 7 years now. Absolute weapon of a reel. Service it regularly, and I actually just took off a lot of the top layer of the braid. Actually, I noticed that it was starting to not come off the reel as nicely as it should. I'd spooled up 300 meters of it, so I was able to take off a decent top amount of the layer, but yeah, it just got a bit old and stale. Definitely made a big difference for this session. I thought there was something going on with the drag, but it was actually just the line not going off the reel very well. So here I decided to start casting into the wind along this little weed bed. I was avoiding casting in the wind, one out of casting distance, having said that the micro meat cuts through the wind pretty well, because there's not a lot for it to get caught up on and resist, because it's like basically like throwing a sinker into the wind. But also just because of the audio quality as well, so apologies for that. Another smaller model, but another one on the board. This one felt a bit different when I was pulling it in. I was thinking, oh, is it a big one that's just going to start taking a big run when it sees me? Nah, just a stupid crab. Kept on cruising down the bank, just sticking to this little channel and going along the weedy bank, casting at other little bits of isolated weed here and there. I felt one of the 2 assist hooks pop out, so I knew it was on tender hooks here. The lure literally spat out as I was bringing it towards the net. Fun little afternoon. Thanks for watching. For more Perth Metro Flathead videos, please subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section.